In our modern world where the lights never go out and the noise of millions of voices fills the air, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, am I truly free? We wake up, work, chase success, seek validation, yet somewhere deep down a quiet truth whispers, we are not in control. Not because of chains or prisons, but because we have become prisoners of our own desires, fears, and emotions. We grow angry when others don't meet our expectations. We despair when life takes away what we love. We worry endlessly about a future we cannot touch, and we call it normal life. But this is the most subtle form of slavery when the mind is ruled by everything it cannot control. Some say freedom is the absence of authority, but the Stoics, the warriors of the inner world, saw something deeper. They said, true freedom is not the absence of masters, it is mastery over oneself. Imagine a man standing amidst a storm, the wind howling, the rain crashing, yet he stands still, calm, unshaken. Not because the storm has weakened, but because nothing within him can be shaken anymore. That is the kind of freedom Stoic philosophy speaks of, a freedom that cannot be stolen, bought, or traded. A freedom that begins only when you learn to control yourself. And today, we will begin that journey, a journey not outward, but inward, to understand why, for thousands of years, the greatest minds from slaves to emperors all chose to walk the path of Stoicism, because they knew that only when the soul is calm can a man be truly free. And that, perhaps, is what we are all searching for in the chaos of this modern world. More than 2,000 years ago, in the bustling heart of Athens, a man named Zeno of Citium lost everything. His ship sank, his fortune disappeared into the sea, and he found himself standing on the shore with nothing left but his thoughts. Yet it was in that moment of complete loss that he discovered something eternal, the birth of Stoicism. From the ruins of his life, he built a philosophy that would shape the minds of emperors, generals, and thinkers for centuries to come. Stoicism was not born in temples or palaces. It was born from pain, from the raw confrontation with reality. It was forged by those who faced suffering, injustice, and uncertainty, and chose not to be broken. To them, life was not about escaping hardship, but about transforming it into strength. Zeno taught that every external thing, wealth, fame, power, is fragile, and therefore never truly ours. The only thing we can possess, he said, is our inner self, our reason, our virtue, our ability to choose how we respond. Later, his teachings would pass to great minds like Seneca, the wise statesman who guided emperors, Epictetus, the slave who found freedom within his chains, and Marcus Aurelius, the ruler of the known world, who wrote his meditations not for glory, but to remind himself to stay humble, calm, and just. And here lies the heart of Stoicism. It does not ask you to run from the world, but to face it with courage, clarity, and grace. It reminds us that every challenge, every loss, every betrayal is a test, a chance to practice strength. When I first encountered Stoicism, I didn't see it as an ancient philosophy. I saw it as a mirror reflecting the modern struggle we all face today. The anxiety of not being enough, the endless chase for control, the fragile ego that breaks under pressure. Stoicism whispers a timeless truth that peace is not found in having more, but in needing less, not in controlling the world, but in mastering oneself. To live as a Stoic is not to be emotionless. It is to feel deeply but remain unmoved by chaos. It is to accept what we cannot change and to give everything we have to what we can. It is to walk through fire not with fear, but with quiet dignity. This is the spirit that began on the shores of Athens and still burns today in every person who chooses to stand firm, no matter what the world throws at them. Stoicism is not a lesson from history. It is a compass for the soul, pointing us back to what truly matters: discipline, virtue, and inner peace. In the modern world, where people are swept into storms of emotion, social comparison, and endless noise, the pillars of Stoicism stand like stone columns amidst the chaos, keeping the human soul from being carried away. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion, it is about mastering it. It doesn't teach us to become numb, but to become unshakable. The first pillar is self-control. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy. The Stoic understands that most of our suffering comes from trying to control what is beyond our reach. They learn to distinguish between two things: what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, and what we cannot, the words of others, outcomes, the weather, or fate itself. The moment we stop fighting the world and begin mastering ourselves, true freedom begins. The second pillar is living. According to reason, to the Stoics, reason is the sacred gift of the universe to mankind. They believe that only when we live in accordance with reason, with our true nature, can we live a good life. Reason is not coldness, but clarity in action. Knowing when to move forward, when to stop, and when to remain silent. The third pillar is acceptance of fate, amor fati. Love your fate. This is not resignation, but active acceptance. The Stoic looks at every challenge and says, "This is my path." Every event, whether tragedy or triumph, is part of the cosmic design that shapes us. When we stop resisting life, we begin to move in harmony with it. And finally, the fourth pillar, virtue, the highest foundation of all. For the Stoics, virtue is happiness. It is the only true measure of a good life. A person may be poor, misunderstood, or suffer great loss, yet if he remains just, courageous, temperate, and wise, he is still free. The Stoic believes that a person's worth lies not in wealth, fame, or power, but in how he faces adversity. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If anything external can harm you, then the universe is not rational." And that is the truth. The Stoic lives by every day, every breath. Stoicism does not ask us to withdraw from the world, but to live within it like a warrior of wisdom, strong yet serene, calm yet determined, and aware that nothing in this world can shake the soul unless we allow it. In theory, Stoicism sounds noble, but its true power lies in practice. It's not a philosophy meant to be admired from afar, but lived, moment by moment, choice by choice. The Stoics didn't meditate in silence for beauty's sake. They trained their minds like soldiers preparing for battle. Every morning was an opportunity to fortify the soul. Every night, a moment of reflection and renewal. Imagine waking up with Marcus Aurelius's words in mind. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. The Stoic begins the day not with complaints, but with gratitude. He knows that life owes him nothing, and that realization itself sets him free. As the day unfolds, the Stoic walks through chaos with calm eyes. Someone insults him, he observes, not reacts. Someone betrays him, he accepts, not collapses. Because the Stoic knows the world cannot take from him what it did not give: his peace, his integrity, his control. He uses challenges as training. Pain becomes his teacher. Discomfort becomes his discipline. When frustration arises, he asks, "Is this within my control?" If yes, he acts. If not, he lets go. And in that simplicity lies a profound strength. At night, before sleep, he practices self-examination, a ritual of reflection. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? Where did I let emotion win over reason? This daily discipline turns the chaos of living into a mirror for growth. Over time, this practice builds an inner fortress, not a wall that isolates, but one that shelters the spirit from storms. The Stoic doesn't reject the world, he transcends it. He works, loves, and struggles like everyone else, but he remains anchored in stillness. Because Stoicism is not about escaping emotion, it's about transforming it into fuel for wisdom. To practice Stoicism is to wake up every day as your own student, soldier, and philosopher, ready to face whatever comes, not with fear, but with quiet courage. It is the art of walking through fire without burning. Throughout history, the world has celebrated conquerors, men who commanded armies, seized kingdoms, and carved their names into stone. But the Stoics spoke of a greater victory, the conquest of oneself. Because to rule the world while being ruled by your fears, desires, and anger is no victory at all. Think of Epictetus, born a slave. His master could chain his body, but not his mind. Through pain and poverty, he discovered an invincible truth. No man is free unless he masters himself. From chains, he rose to become one of the greatest teachers of freedom, not political, but spiritual. Then came Seneca, the philosopher of emperors. He lived in the heart of Roman power, surrounded by wealth, corruption, and danger. Yet, in the quiet of his study, he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." He reminded the powerful that the greatest wealth is peace of mind. And finally, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king. Imagine him a ruler of an empire that stretched across continents, burdened by war and plague, yet each night he wrote to himself, not as an emperor, but as a student of life. His journal, Meditations, was never meant to be read by the world. It was his way of speaking to his own soul, reminding himself to remain humble, patient, and just, even when surrounded by chaos. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These men were not gods. They felt pain, loss, and doubt like all of us. But they trained their minds to remain unbroken, to be calm in chaos, firm in principle, and compassionate even in suffering. That is what made them warriors of the inner world. And today, their wisdom lives on in boardrooms, battlefields, classrooms, and homes. Every time someone chooses patience over anger, understanding over judgment, discipline over comfort, the spirit of the Stoics lives again. Because Stoicism is not a philosophy of the past, it is a timeless art of living. It belongs to anyone who dares to face life, not as a victim, but as a master of the self. To live like a Stoic is to carry quiet strength in a loud world, to be gentle yet unyielding, to stand firm, not because life is easy, but because you have built something inside that nothing can destroy. That is true power, not domination over others, but dominion over oneself. The journey of a Stoic. Every day is a quiet battle not against the world, but against ourselves. The Stoic does not chase perfection, they chase progress. They wake up each morning knowing that life will test them, and they welcome it because every challenge is a chance to grow stronger inside. When the sun rises, they pause for a moment of reflection and ask, what might happen today? Not as a way to fear the future, but to prepare the mind. They remind themselves that people may be unkind, events may go wrong, and plans may crumble. But their peace does not depend on what happens, it depends on how they respond. Throughout the day, when life presses hard, the Stoic remembers. They control nothing but their thoughts, their actions, and their attitude. They don't waste energy wishing things were easier. Instead, they wish to be tougher, calmer, wiser. They know storms don't break them, they shape them. And when night falls, the Stoic returns to silence once more. They look back on their day, not to judge, but to learn. Did I act with reason? Did I stay true to my principles? Did I allow anger, greed, or fear to rule me? If they failed, they accept it, then promise to do better tomorrow. Because failure, too, is a teacher. This is the journey of a Stoic, a lifelong pursuit of inner mastery. It's not about showing strength to others, but about building unshakable strength within. A strength that stays calm in chaos, that forgives instead of hates, that endures without complaint. The Stoic doesn't talk endlessly about philosophy, they live it. They know that wisdom is not found in words, but in choices. They understand that peace is not given, it is earned. One thought at a time, one day at a time. And so they walk forward, quietly, humbly, becoming a little better with each sunrise. Because being Stoic is not about feeling nothing, it's about feeling everything, deeply, and still choosing to remain steady. The journey never ends. It is a daily practice, a sacred discipline, to live with reason when the world screams chaos, to choose virtue when temptation whispers, to remain kind, even when no one notices. That is the art of the Stoic, not perfection, but persistence. Not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. Not the control of life, but the control of self. And in the end, when they look back, they'll see that the journey itself, the struggle, the reflection, the quiet courage to keep going, that was the reward all along. In a world that never stops shouting, true strength is found in silence. The strongest person is not the one who raises their voice, but the one who understands themselves so deeply that no chaos can shake their peace. In the noise of opinions, distractions, and endless comparison, the truly powerful stand still, calm, centered, unbroken. They do not fight the world. They master their own mind. Because every kind of freedom begins with self-control. You can't control the storms outside, but you can command the calm within. When you own your thoughts, you own your life. So if you've been searching for peace, stop looking out there. It's been inside you all along, waiting to be reclaimed. Strength is not about winning every battle. It's about not losing yourself in the fight. It's about walking through fire and choosing not to burn. Begin now. Take a breath. Take back your mind. And remember, the quieter you become, the stronger you grow. If this message speaks to you, like this video and follow our channel, so together we can keep exploring the timeless philosophies that make us stronger, wiser, and freer every single day.